Welcome to the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast. This podcast is dedicated to EAS employees of the U.S. Postal Service and members of the National Association of Postal Supervisors. So, pour yourself a cup of coffee and join us for today's episode. And now, here's your host, Robert Wakefield.
Good morning, Branch 32, and good morning, Naps family. Yeah, I'm going to change that. I like that. I'm going to change that. Naps family. That sounds better than EAS employees across the country. Naps family, that's what you are. Welcome to the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast. I'm your host, Robert Wakefield. Thank you very much. That's right. All right, got a great show lined up for you. So let's go ahead and pour that first cup. Want your savings to do more than just sit there? With a money market certificate from the Nashville Post Office Credit Union, you'll earn competitive returns while keeping your money safe and sound. You'll enjoy higher dividends than traditional savings, flexible terms to match your goals, and it's federally insured to give you peace of mind. It's smart, secure, and built for postal professionals who plan ahead. The Nashville Post Office Credit Union. People helping people since 1925. And for our first cup this morning, it's week number 3. That's right, of the September SPACtacular. I hope that if you have not seen the video that I made, it's about a minute long. It's going to be on our website under videos. You can go check that out. It's napsbranch32.org, and it's just simply a request to join the Drive for 5 program during the month of September, when we call that the September SPACtacular. Now, I don't know where you're listening to this podcast, whether you're listening on a Saturday morning, enjoying your cup of coffee, maybe it's on a Sunday morning before church, or maybe it's on your way to work and you're listening. This is an important episode. And you need to tell all your friends about the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the September SPACtacular. So the idea of the September SPACtacular was pretty simple. We wanted to get as many people signed up for the Drive for 5 program in the month of September than we possibly can. We wanted to make this the month that we make a difference. And so it's not just a month, it's a movement. It's something that we can all really get behind. The SPACtacular is about visibility. It's about momentum. It's about making sure our voices are heard in Congress. And so I like to think of SPAC not just as a donation, but as a declaration. It says that we're concerned about fairness. We're concerned about our benefits being affected. We're concerned about laws being passed that directly have an impact on the Postal Service. So that's our declaration. And we want to protect the dignity of every EAS employee. I think that's important. So this month of September, we're not just asking, we're activating. We're inviting every branch to step up and step out. So let's do the math. Let's talk a little bit about the Drive for 5. It's very simple what we're asking for. We would like to get 5 members from every branch to sign up in the month of September. That's it. That's all we're asking for, 5 members. And that's just the floor. That's not the ceiling. Now, if we've got 270 branches nationwide, and I love math because my favorite subject in school was recess and lunch. So math was not my favorite in the world. But hey, if we're going to do some math, we got 270 branches nationwide. If each branch just got 5 members to sign up in the month of September, that would be an additional 1,350 contributors. That's impressive. And when you talk about dollars, what that would look like. If those 1,350 contributors gave just $5 a pay period, and we all know we have 26 pay periods in a year, that's, let's see, $175,500. $175,000 in annual SPAC support. That's not counting anything else. It would just be money that just comes out of, deducted from our checks and goes straight to SPAC 26 times a year. If you're retired, it would go in there 12 times a year. So it's very easy to do this. And the ask for 5 members to sign up is just so simple. I'm really asking Branch 32 to lead the way in this. If you're in Branch 32 and you're listening to this podcast, that's fabulous. So be sure to sign up this month. It would be so great if we could lead this effort. But it's incredible, $175,500 in annual SPAC support that they could always count on, that money being there to serve our purposes. I think that's fantastic. My good friend out of the New England area, he's the area vice president, D. Perez. He shared some interesting numbers from the 2023 and 2024 election cycle. And those numbers look like this. I'm just going to share a couple of them with you now. UPS, a competitor of the Postal Service, they brought in $4.5 million in contributions to their political action committee, and they spent a little more than that. They spent $5.1 million. What about FedEx? They were really on budget. They brought in about $2 million. They spent right at $2 million. Now that's a lot of money. Can you imagine if NAPS had that kind of reaction and we had that kinds of funds that we could go to? I mean, it's incredible that they have that kind of money they can spend. Now, here's the deal. If we're going to Congress and we have to compete with these kind of funds, who do you think our congressman's going to listen to? You're right. So it's not about pressure. It's about potential. It's about showing Congress, policymakers, and the public that the Postal Service supervisors are united and they're organized and they're invested. So how do we get there? How do we get to the 5 members per branch? Well, the first thing is to start a conversation. Send out one email, one coffee break, whatever it is. Share why SPAC matters to you and make it personal. Branch presidents, this is our time to really shine and get our branches involved with SPAC. We need to celebrate every sign up. We need to track the progress. We need to make it visible. We need to make it fun. That's why I called it SPACtacular, because I thought that was fun. And if you've already hit 5, don't stop. Keep going. 10, 15, 20, every dollar counts. And it's every bit important that we try to get as many as we can to sign up for the Drive for 5. So as you finish off that first cup, remember, 5 is just the spark. It's the starting line. It's how we build this future that reflects our values. Let's make September count. Let's make it spectacular. Let's make sure every branch hits 5 and then keep going. And I really do appreciate you listening to this first cup. It's now time for us to pour that second cup. You know, banking should be made simple. That's why Ollie, the Nashville Post Office Credit Union's virtual assistant, is here, ready to help 24/7. Need quick answers? Ollie delivers secure, instant solutions right at your fingertips. No wait times, no hassle, just smart banking made easy. Whether you're managing your finances, exploring loan options, or just need guidance, Ollie is always ready to assist, wherever and whenever you need. The Nashville Post Office Credit Union, people helping people. since 1925. And for our second cup this morning, I wanted to remind Branch 32 members that you have another branch meeting coming up on September the 23rd at 6 p.m. at the Nashville Post Office Credit Union. It's going to be our Bring a Member meeting. I need to send a message out to everybody to remind them of this. If you know a Branch 32 member that has not attended a meeting this year, bring them. Bring them on to the meeting. We'd love to have them. How'd you like that? So it's our Bring a Member meeting. We want to get some new people who are members that's never been to a meeting to come to this meeting in September. And again, that is September 23rd, and the time will be at 6 p.m. Nashville Post Office Credit Union. One other thing I want to encourage all of you, like I've been talking about all month, it's the September SPACtacular. I failed to mention in the first cup that you can go to napsbranch32.org, and under important documents, you will find the worksheets for the September SPACtacular. You'll need the worksheet in order to go into Postal Ease if you're an active employee. If you're a retired employee, there's also one for you that's different than the one that they use. So be sure and go in there and check that out. But these forms are available on our website, and I encourage each and every one of you to go in there and check that out, get that worksheet out, and let's do this. If you are a branch president, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear from your success on the September SPACtacular. We're really pushing this because it's just that important, and it's something that we really need to shine a focus on. So I wanted to mention that. I wanted to mention about the meeting coming up on the 23rd. And let's see, is there anything else I need to say? Oh, yeah. I was going to share some stats with you. Stats. How about that? In the month of August, we had 211 listeners to the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast. And those listeners downloaded 224 episodes, or 24 downloads, rather. In the month of September, we're not doing so well. We only have 71 listeners. And so we need to work on that. So if you are a member of NAPS and you are listening to this program, be sure you share this podcast with all of your NAPS family so that they can get involved with the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast. All right, that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast presented by the Nashville Post Office Credit Union. I'm Robert Wakefield, and remember, every great weekend starts with a great cup of Joe. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast. Please note that the views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of Robert Wakefield and do not necessarily reflect the views of the National Association of Postal Supervisors. We welcome your questions and comments, so send those to SaturdayCupOfJoe@gmail.com.